Very nice. Almost done. Almost done. 2, 1, and done. All right. Woo!
TopFitPros.com.
Selling training is a skill that you need to have if you're going to be a successful business person in the personal training business. If you're working at a gym, then you probably have a sales force that's selling it for you. You might even want to work in that sales force a little bit to get used to what selling training is all about. But I never did, okay? I've worked as a trainer, but selling the training is a skill that needs to be acquired. And now there are elements to selling. If you go to sales seminars that teach you about selling, you'll find about features and benefits and how the benefits relate to the individual. So you have to listen to the individual, identify the features of your product or service, and the benefits of your product or service as it relates to the individual, and then you use those to close. That's old selling 101. But when you're in the personal training business, it's a little more sophisticated than that. It's more sophisticated because you're not taking direct features and benefits. You are showing the client that you know what their needs are. Even though they may not know all their needs, you understand their particular situation because of your knowledge so well that you can lead them to their goals much more effectively than they could get there without your help. And so that is what you need to demonstrate. So those features and benefits come right out of your knowledge base. Your ability to communicate to the client what they need and how you're going to take them down that path to their goals. So you have to listen, you have to interview, you have to assess, you have to analyze what is wrong with the way they move, what is wrong with their body that is holding them back from achieving their goals, and then how you can overcome those impairments, those difficulties, those issues that they have. They'll tell you some, they'll tell about pain areas, they'll tell you about problems that they have, maybe with balance and so on. And sometimes those are offered as excuses why they really cannot or have not been able to become successful in reaching their goals. But you can turn those around and identify the solutions to those problems, how you would strategically get to the goal through those problems by resolving them. And that's a huge part of it. So rather than doing the whole features and benefits thing, what you're doing is you're figuring out what their needs truly are and working a solution to that. But it's even more sophisticated than that, because ultimately people come to you because they have a reason to believe that you can help them. And so that's a referral-based business growth. That is really the way to become successful as a personal trainer, is to do such a good job with the initial people that you've had, to help them so much that they tell other people about you. And so you need to encourage them then to tell other people about you. If you have done a good job for them, if they're praising you, say, well, that's great, you know, I really appreciate that. And if you know of anybody else I can help, that would be great too. So that kind of encouragement to others to refer their friends to you really will go a long way. And then when people come into you who have been referred, who have been told that you do a great job, then it's much easier to convert them to clients, because they already come in the door thinking that you're going to be able to help them. But what you have to be able to do then is, when that person comes in the door, you need to ask the questions that are going to lead to information that you can use to identify what is going to be needed to resolve their issues. So you need to know their issues, you need to know how to resolve the issues, so that means training that you have, the certifications we've talked about already, and the knowledge we've talked about already, and then how you turn that knowledge into action to actually be able to resolve the problems of the client. And if you know all that stuff, and you get the person in front of you who's opening up to you and telling you their issues, then you're much more likely to close them with a sale. And the dollar amount of the training and what kind of package, that's the last thing that needs to be discussed, because they're already sold on the whole process by the time you get to that point, if you've done it right. And we can talk about other things. We'll talk about how you build up your presence in the community and so on. There are lots of other elements that are pre-sale elements that bring people in the door, and we'll talk about that the next time. And until then, I'll see you.
TopFitPros.com